everybody. Welcome back, space engineers. I bet you can't guess where we are right now. Don't look in the top left corner of the screen, though. That's cheating. How about now? How about now? How about now? Now. Alright. We're nowhere special. We're in tortwing. Hi, tortwing. This is not suitable for flight. What I've done, to start today's episode, I've been wanting this for a while. I think many of you have recommended doing such things. The issue being I don't really know how. But I saw this script on the Reddits, so I grabbed it. Tortwing cargo. Okay, let's see here. Let's load it up. Here's the code. Make fun of any edits I've made to it as you wish. But what I did, so Dane W is the guy's name on the Reddits, and I believe he said he butchered it from some other code. Some other script for some utility drone. So I think he took that and split it so it could load 2 inventories. I took it and made it so it could load 3. So I basically took what he did and I just added an extra line and copying exactly what he did and just replaced a 2 with a 3. Replaced the name with the next name and so forth and so on. So yeah, it worked pretty good. If you look for it on the workshop, it's going to be called Welder Supplies, Utility Bot Mode, or Utility Bot Mod. That's the one you want, and then I've gone and made my own Frankenstein version of it. So it's kind of nice. It's pretty straightforward. You just have to input the quantities you want. One thing about it, and I'm sure this could be changed or modified, but no, I don't know how, is if I could set it up per inventory. So this is a grand list, and from my understanding it tries to fill all the inventories with this list. So since we have 3, it's going to try to do this 3 times for each inventory, but it's going to stop when it gets full, and it doesn't go in order from top to bottom. It seems to go in a different order. So anyway, that's how that is. And if we look in here, we have tortwing, and I currently have it loaded out. So this is what happens when I run it. So I'm gonna, let's get rid of everything. Just have to listen to me click. Deal with it. So yeah, it'd be nice if I could set up per base for cargo. So instead I modified the quantities to hopefully kind of work out to what I would want overall based off how it gets split up here. So we could have different programs for different loadouts as well. Like if we're always using, I mean that's a pretty general loadout, but if we wanted something for glass, let's say, we could hit another program. Maybe first it would unload the cargo. That would be something I would like as well. Every time this runs, it first empties out the cargoes and then it restocks them. That might be nice. That way if we're grinding something down and we end up coming back with lots of stuff, we can unload it. Anyway, I'm talking and not doing anything. So here we go. So it ignores the connector, but I could add that in, but I don't know if it's worth it, because when I hit it, so run, and I have that on the toolbar so we can hit it whenever we want, and there it goes. So it starts with girders, then does bulletproof glass, then metal grids. So I basically decrease these by a factor of 3. I used to have that set to, I think, 200 or something, 250, that to 500, so I kind of rounded up to 6 divided by 3. Same with the girders. It used to be 300, but then this was filling up with basically way too much girder, way too much glass, way too much metal, and then that was all that could fit in there. And then everything else had to try to fit in here, and then it couldn't fit because the quantity would get full. So I tweaked some things, and actually what I wanted to tweak a bit further is our large steel, since we still have room. So let's try bumping that all the way up to 3,500. And then we'll run it again. Okay, so 31... blah blah blah. That's close enough. I don't need to lower it. It can't go anywhere, so it just basically tries to put in as many as it can until it gets full. So I think that'll be great, and I left out components that we don't use very often. I also played around a bit with the Autopilot. Perfect for when you have a giant screen in your face. You are most definitely going to want the Autopilot. Okay, is the Autopilot still there? It is. So let's see if I did it correctly. We are currently set to the forward. It's set to 1. It's off, but it's in precision mode. It's got some new waypoints. I basically recreated the ones we already did. I don't know about the rotation, so let's try staying flat. And let's autopilot. And it's going backwards. You're not supposed to. You're not. Okay. Is this a bug, guys? Did I do something wrong? I mean, it's still set to forward. Now it should switch to backwards. Now it's okay. Still going backwards. So it's just that first waypoint that's a little bit wonky. And it hasn't updated its name yet either. But the lock works, which I'm surprised. So it does do that lock, and I think I did it identically to the way I showed in last video. So it just switches this back to forward. So when we leave, we're back the way we started. And that's set to lock. No clock needed. It locked it. Which is cool. I thought I'd need a delay. And the other one, all it does is change that to backwards, which doesn't seem to matter because it doesn't want to fly backwards anyway. Oh no, oh no, no. I meant to pull up. Okay, let's try from a better angle. I know we did this last time, but it'd be cool to get this working, because then I don't even need to be with tortwing. I can just, like, send it back. And what we'll probably do, let's see here. We'll probably add... Do I have any free timer blocks left on you? Timer 2. Let's put a bit of a delay, maybe? Let's try without a delay. I'm assuming I need a delay, but maybe I don't. The connector locked. I'm wondering if we could also add on that program, so when it docks, it just runs the program too and automatically tries to load. I mean, that might not be desirable, but it would be desirable for if we were sending it back to load up, because then we could probably have a we could probably set up another for it to exit back out, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, let's try running. I don't need that. Arguments. And then I'll go empty first. Okay. We'll have to unload once at least, but maybe we can tell if the program runs based on the debug. Is there a debug? Does it say last run? I tried decreasing the font so I could read it, but it's so small now I can't read it. Are we good? You're a little crooked. I'm surprised it can't level itself. If it thinks, like based off the XYZ, if it thinks that way's up, it should be able to determine its rotation based off that as well. There it goes. Alright. So let me... I don't know if that ran. I don't know how to tell. So I'll do it the basic way, and I'll unload and reload. Okay, well, one cargo is good enough, right? We don't have to unload everything. Da, 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 da. Autopilot. It's like forward, back. Maybe it's smart enough to know that it wants to turn around here, so it just... Yeah, that doesn't seem right. Tortwing. Here, let's... Oh, you have, like, no control while Autopilot's engaged. Good to know. Good to know. Alright. Moment of truth. Ah, part of the script... Or, yeah, part of the script ran. It caught just in time to try to load steel plates into it. Not even enough? Is that what happened? You know what it probably is because of that limit I set on the steel plates. Notice how it didn't want to, the quantity it put in there is pretty much the difference of what didn't fit. So, I think instead, if I decrease that to 3100, I think it was 3100 and change, that would probably fix it. And then I don't need that delay. Okay, we are empty. Completely empty. And... lock and loaded. That was cool. Awesome. So, I mean, we could have it do that, like... To take it further, this could be... we could change this. And maybe we should try to add in a second remote control so that we can have different things going on. But we could have this not be the end, right? So it could do that. And then maybe it turns the autopilot off. But then a timer block turns it back on and it proceeds to the next one. Would it do that or would it reset? I guess it would reset, wouldn't it? You guys let me know if that would work. Because then we could theoretically, as long as we're in line of sight of this area, we could just send it off. It'll go, connect, fill up, and then come back out. And then we just pick it up or remote it back over or something. Cool. Anyway, I like that. So we'll get rid of the face thing. And what we'll do is we'll add it. So I have it right here for now, but we'll probably want that on the first page. There's a spot here. I think that used to be the reverse camera that got annihilated. So I should probably turn that back on, but the remote camera is mainly for docking, so I guess we don't need it back because, yeah, this will facilitate that anyway. So I haven't decided what to do about the, can't tell where I am. Oh, there it is. Wasn't sure what to do about the cargo yet, so I appreciate your guys' input on that and still considering all that. Alright. Alright, Tortwing. Let's remove your face. I'm pretty sure the blueprints are up to date. At least the, well, this won't be up to date anymore. Because the cockpit toolbar has changed. Maybe we should... Oops, hitting all sorts of buttons. Maybe I should make a new blueprint, at least of the full tortwing. How does this double welder tortwing? That works too. While I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and update all the blueprints. So here we go. We've got our regular guy. Ooh, let's tortwing. We don't need you to show on HUD no more. Okay, appreciate it, but no. No. And actually, shoot, I should put the camera back on. Okay, well, we got both of them loaded up, and I've exchanged them in the projectors as well. So we have the new blueprints, so it'll keep all, like, basically what we just did to with the program block. If that happened to get destroyed, I mean, we'd have to really kill Tortwing, I think, to do that. Let's take off the face if we can, delicately. Remote. I'm controlling. Why aren't I controlling? Tortwing, remote, control. There we go. Not sure what I did. Yeah. Alright, this should be right above the cockpit. So if we go like that. Careful. Oh, that exits both. I don't want to exit both. I should probably get, like, really close. That's what I should do. Let's go right here. Tortwing, remote, control! Fly forward. Ah, your face! Don't. Nope. Well, you can grind that up. Oh. Well. Oh. Nope. Everything's grinding except what I want. Let's assume the thing's going to disassemble soon. It's okay. As long as we don't lose any part that is required for flight. Get a bit closer. Oh. Everything else we can put back on. Oh. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. Okay, back away. Oh. Oh, no. What's happening? Oh, it disconnected me. It didn't like when it lost its face. There we go. Something flew away. Did you see that? Back away. It went that way. It went pretty fast, though. I don't see it. Hey, Shredder. Alright. Well, assume it wasn't important. Until we look inside and we see. Seems okay. We've got... Ooh, that's changed. The speaker sticks back. I was wondering what that was on the light. Alright. Kinda need to move this projector. That would be the most direct path, and also these sensors. So what are these sensors? One of them's for proximity. We have not been using that one because I didn't find a good way of doing it. This one we want intact. So maybe we'll leave that guy there. We'll take out that guy. We'll take out that guy, and we'll pipe over and back. Let's take a look at the... We're going to need the... We're probably going to want this for when we do get oxygen. So how we'll probably work Tortwing is just have the oxygen bottles, I think, is what we decided. So yeah, conveyors are right there. Yeah, so that's right where that thing is, which is a pain for me to grind out because of... It's funny, because we're going to have to make a new blueprint of this guy probably shortly. Once it's all done, we probably want a new one because it won't have the updates. So, alternatively, we could get rid of this reactor. I like that better. I just thought of it right now, and I like it better than getting rid of that projector. That will cause less problems. I think we have more power than we need. There's probably like fuel in there. That's okay. That's small reactor 5. Let's go ahead and take stuff out of small reactor 5 so that we don't have uranium going all over the place. Let's also reactors, conveyor off, and then that one, inventory, reactor 5. There you go. We'll put you back in. Oh no, you're not going to be back. You can just go in here, and we'll let that get sucked up in a second. Alright, we're about to mess with your symmetry, Tortwing. Are you okay with that? Your left side is going to be different than the right. Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that. It's going to be fine. We're fine. He's fine. Don't worry. Tortwing's okay with it. Asymmetric all the way. Is that the right word? Or is it the other way around? Symmetric? Asymmetric? Yeah. I'm not an idiot. Son of a... That was perfectly timed. That's okay. Well, we gotta take that out. We can put that back. We can replace it. Alright, that will be put back by the welders. I'm pretty sure that's the program block we don't need. Maybe? Probably not. Oh no, it is too. Oh, luckily planned that way. So in that case, I should put a maybe a small conveyor. Although I think these small tubes you can actually connect to, perhaps. Who knows? I think so. Well, I'm gonna put a conveyor anyway, just because I want to. Do I? Do I? Yeah, because I don't want to test if that theory is correct. So we'll just assume it isn't. Alright, I need you, I think. The rest can be done with the welding wall. Good old repair bay. Not even using it. Oh, we could go to the repair bay. No, I'm not confident it's going to work. One day I'll get it fixed. When they decide what they're doing with rotors and pistons and all that kind of stuff. And then maybe I'll retackle redoing it. But I kind of want to set it up so everything's run off the A-core. So, but I kind of want more action groups first. So, I'm kind of waiting on a bunch of stuff. Okay, that should do it, I think. Alright. So let's go ahead and get back over here. Stay out of range. Control. Tortwing. Timer for recording so I don't go over by 45 zillion minutes. I don't know what I was going to say there. I struggled. I'm sorry. What am I doing? Who am I? What color is that I smell? That's right. Smell. Which... let's load up a... Ah! Fix me, please. Oh, oh. Spatial thinking. Terrible. Oh, yeah. Get in there. We got some loose stuff deep inside. Oh, wow. Faster than I wanted to do. Good. I can't really check the projector, I suppose, because... Oh, no. We can check the control panel, however, and make sure there's no blocks missing. Let's do a little spot check. Oh, I wasn't sure if you could spin all the way around. The answer is no. The answer is no. Everything was good. Nice. Now I have to take new ones, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it and put it off until it's too late. And then we're going to have stuff missing and offset. And, oh, look at our toolbar. I thought that didn't happen. Like, it's missing everything I did. Why did I take a new blueprint? You didn't put any of the stuff I did. Except all this. What is this? What is this? I don't even know. It's just a cube. How is that helpful? Well, that's disappointing. I thought that would save everything so that that wouldn't happen. I was incorrect. I was wrong. That was the remote control one. This one is perfectly fine. Except for everything is wrong. Why? Those are the cameras. Are the cameras did I... Hang on. Cameras are there. I thought maybe I grinded them off. They are there. Pretty sure those are all cameras. I wonder if I, like, save and reload. The answer is no. Hello. What are you from? Connector. Detect B. Oh, that's when the connector exploded. Interesting. Alright, I think for the last part of this episode, we're gonna try something risky. Risky why, you might ask? I don't know. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna convert this world to a creative world temporarily to fix this pivot point. I feel it's okay to do this because the pivot point is a pretty arbitrary thing, and there's no good way of moving it in survival other than that I have found merging something to something that has more blocks than what the thing is that you want to change the pivot point. So if we had another ship that was identical to this but had one extra block, and I merged this ship to it, this ship would take on the pivot point of the larger ship. Since that's not really easy to do, I'm going to do it in creative with copy-paste. The only other way I could think of doing it is splitting the station into different pieces, and then we could slowly put it back together. So maybe we could isolate part of it and then merge that with a fake ship that we create that has more blocks temporarily, and then we have to break it all apart and then do that. So, I mean, there is a way we could do it, but it's silly, and I don't think it's necessary. Now, unfortunately, there's a bug, I think, currently, where, hello, also going to use spectator here. There's a bug where center of gravities don't show up if they're obscured in a block. So, I don't know where it is. The center of mass, I mean. I don't want the center of mass, do I? Do I want the center of mass, or do I want the pivot point? I want the pivot point. So maybe the pivot point shows up. Yeah, good. Okay, the bug is with the center of mass, I think, where it, if it's inside a block, it doesn't show. Alright, so before, let's go back to our person. Before we do this, one important thing I think we need to do is go into this. Arc furnaces, we don't want anything using its conveyor system, basically. So that we want to turn off. Whatever else can use a conveyor system that pull items in, including all of our sorters. Drain all is off. I want to make sure drain all is off on all of them. That way it's not trying to pull stuff in. So the issue with creative mode is that if you're not familiar, there is no item limit in a cargo container. So if a collector holds this much in survival, there's no limit in creative, and it will fill this up indefinitely, kind of thing. And what ends up happening is if you're over the limit, whichever your last item is, it will delete that whole stack, even if it's just over by 1 and like 1,000 of the, whatever. Not, this doesn't really relate to what I'm looking at. But let's say we had a this guy. No, get out of there. This guy. So if there's currently a lot more room. Is there anyone that we have full? Yeah, this guy. There we go. So it has 3,280 something. Does that number show up anywhere else? I guess not. No idea how many there are there, but there's the mass and the volume of them. So if this were to go into creative, it would pull in all these other ones and throw them in there. Then when we went back to survival, because this would be greater than that, it would delete the first item, I think it is what it does. So it would basically, since there's only one item, it would delete all of them. So we'd lose all of our steel tubes, and there'd be 0 remaining. So anything like that, so anywhere we have an overflow or an overload, which I think there's a few parts, I think the metal grids too, that one's full, wherever that one is. So I want to make sure nothing can do that. Maybe that is all of our metal. Maybe I told metal to go in there. So the other thing I want to do is turn off our program block that is sorting, or at least the timer that's currently being constantly triggered. Just going to turn that off, make sure it's not running. Turn that off, make sure it's not running. What else could do it? I mean, assemblers. Everything else is off. All of our sorters are off. I didn't change, like, rename anything to, like, filter or anything like I did on... Nope. Alright, I think we're good to go. The only other thing that's set to pull are the reactors, and I don't see them filling up to a quantity. They would have already pulled stuff in if they could, if they were even set to. So I'm just kind of making sure there's nothing I'm overlooking, but I think we're good. Just checking our connectors. We have a stone ejector that's set to collect all. That could potentially delete all of our stone, which might not be a bad idea, but I'll turn that off anyway. Here we go. Oh my god, we're in creative. I mean, we're not really in creative. This is just a simulation that's going to simulate moving this fictitious point to some other location. Immersion kept. Swish. Nobody says swish anymore, do they? I don't think anyone said swish since the 80s. Did they even say it in the 80s? Swish. I think so. Swish. Alright, so here's our pivot point that we gotta move. At least I think that's the one. I don't know who you belong to. But we'll find out. I think what happened is when I moved the repair bay, I think I mentioned this before, but I think when I removed the repair bay, it had enough blocks so that when I reattached it to some part of the station, I don't know, it doesn't look like it should have. It doesn't look like it has that many blocks, but it's the only thing that kind of lines up with what I did, because the pivot point used to be here, and now it's way over there. It moved in the direction that I moved the repair bay. So there's a possibility that I'm incorrect with what I described earlier on how the pivot point can be moved. I know it used to be like that, but maybe it's changed. Maybe it takes the pivot point of the leading thing. I don't know. So what I'm going to do, what am I going to do? I did save before we did this, so we should be okay. And I could, I guess, go through the inventories and just make sure there's not something that has like an absurd amount of stuff in it, like what's happening here. Oh, it's a refinery. You're okay. You can keep refining. I don't think that should cause any problems, because I did set it so it's not going to pull any more in. It would have caused a problem if it tried to fill up and we would have lost maybe some ore. Yep, read them all flawlessly. All looks good. So I think all I'm going to do is new station right there, maybe. Let's go up one. Okay, and then let's delete the glass. Trying to think here. I'll look at these items. Yum. We'll just get rid of those. They're not really here. There is no spoon. Okay. Then I'm going to paste that to the station block that I place 2 more down. This is going to be bad. Okay. You ready? I forgot to enable copy paste. Be right back. All right, attempt number 2. I left the glass here there this time. So I'm going to cut. Yes. Oh. What? Which one are you again? Why aren't you connected? Where's the undo button? I want the undo button. There it is. 3rd time's a charm. Okay. Let's go take a look at why that isn't connected. That's weird. I swear that gravity generator used to work. Oh. Oh, because I changed those windows to that. I see. Oh, darkness. Darkness. Really? Can't put that there? Seems strange to me. Is the window... Oh no, the window's pointing down, that's why. So, I would need to change one of you, or provide it with some kind of way of attachment. Alright. Alright. What are you? I mean, I should be doing that in a real world, though, right? Not creative, but let's deal with it. Flat invert. Flat invert. And goodbye. Okay. Well, you have to address this. So these blocks are temporary. Bam. Okay, so that will stay now, theoretically. There's some other floating stuff. There's those parts that I will have to pick up, but that's okay. Let's go ahead. New station. No, time. It's going to be a long one, guys. It's going to be a long one. Hopefully you like that. Some of you do. Some of you don't. These are for the doers. Okay. Yes. Vanish. Better. There's a bunch of stuff down there. I might need to pick those up, as I won't be able to paste things back in, I think. If these are going to be, like, intersecting where the ship should go. Oh, we can try. What are you? Oh, those aren't... What? No. Those aren't connected to anything either. Anyway, let's see. They might still fit. Control V. Crash computer? No? That's amazing. That's where we want it, right? But, I wish I could... Oh, it's showing all the grids. That's really cool. Okay, I'm going to assume it's the stuff down below. And I might need to get rid of those too. It could also have been because I was inside the block in question. Which... Where is it? There it is. There's also you. You could probably go away. Alright. Let's try. Control V. Yeah, there's still that pivot point there. Or that one? Probably belongs to those guys. Control V. Let's see if I can get out of the collision box. Maybe that is it. Of course, now the chances of me lining this up become slimmer. Nothing's easy. Nothing's easy. Alright, gonna try again. Reloaded the world. This time I attached that over there. Moved the ships out of the way, I think. And re-put that there. I am going to have to get rid of those blocks again, though. Or all those floating out objects. Control X. Good. Bam. Is that right? Guess I did it differently that time. That's okay. That is okay. There they are. It's funny looking at this stuff. It's like stationary. That could almost be these could be asteroids, like in the distance. But if you move kind of side to side, you can tell which objects are closer than the asteroids, which don't really shift at all when you're this far away. What's that called? There's a term for that. I'm not going to try to say it because I'll get it wrong. But you can. Apparently that wasn't connected. We're doing it. We just sketched anyway. I'm going to go ahead and say all these parts that I'm deleting are gone. We're okay. I'm okay with that. We lose whatever the starter bits was, so a bit of steel plates, interior plates, etc. Oh, there's something there. I see it. Come to me. Oh, what was that? What's that? There it is. I see it. It worked. It works. Okay, I ended up deleting the vents that were up there. Those seem to be a problem. I guess that stuff we had over there was a problem. But here we go. Paste you back. And that pivot point should disappear. It looks like it has. It should now be over here, which we can delete. Basically undo what I have. And there we have it. Is that right? Is green... It must be right. Red is right. Green is forward. Blue is up, I think. So what that means is now when I set up something in this blueprint or this projector, when it rotates, if we just rotate it, it's going to rotate around this pivot point, right? So if the station, if this is the center of our station, and it spins, everything should keep the same offset. It should line up perfectly. So we should be able to spin this thing around without having to mess around with the horizontal and forwards or whatever. Forward and back, offset, side to side, offset, that stuff. So excellent. I can get rid of that since I added that in. Goodbye. I'll have to re-put the cargoes, but we were just sketching anyway, so again, not a big deal. So we should be good to go. The only problem is my inventory. I'm okay with losing all of it, I think. Even the ores. Yeah, it can go away. That was all floating stuff that I probably wouldn't have collected had I not done this, so I don't think we need to keep it. In fact, I'm going to launch it into outer space, just because I want to see something. When we reload the world, it should... Oh, still heavy. There you go. Sure. When we reload the world, it's going to check the inventories, and it'll give us an error message if one of them is, like, overfilled. So that'll be kind of my warning that something is wrong, and I shouldn't convert it yet. So I'm going to save... Oops. I'm going to save it. And then I'm going to reload, hopefully back in survival mode. I thought maybe molar might be a problem. I did get that error message, so we're going to check. Also, when I was looking for a way into the asteroid, that was kind of silly. Because I know there's like our giant hole, right? Isn't it right here? Oh yeah, there it is. And Chip can fit through down here, right? I mean, tortwing can even fit. Ooh, let's check out the lighting. Is it going to get all dark? Yep. That's the buggy part, I think. The delayed thing. Looks okay in here. Looks better than it used to, maybe. Kind of washed out, though. Molar might be set up for his ejectors and stuff to pull all. I don't know. I would have thought we would have emptied. The connector's gone. Let's just see here. Large cargo, that's not full. Maybe it gives you that error message regardless. Yeah, there's some. Nothing's full, though. Nope. Molar, you are good. You don't have a cargo. But we should look at bumping up its range when we're done. Or when we're back in survival mode. That way we can see this. So the only thing that was letting us see it before was the fact that Skimmer was down here. Since Skimmer's up with us, we no longer can. And that's the hole I was looking for. That is the hole I was looking for. Alright, well, I don't know. I thought maybe it didn't give that error message, or it only gave you that message if an inventory was going to be truncated. But that might not be the case. Let me go back to the station and do a last check before biting the bullet and converting. Alright, well, I've checked, I think, everywhere. I've checked all the other ships. Skimmer, Shredder, Chip, Tortwing. None of them seem to have any cargoes that are overfilled. And this is the main station again, and I don't see anything unless these have a ridiculously low. And somehow they pulled a bit more in, I don't know. But yeah, everything looks okay. I thought that message only came up if there was an issue, a conflict, but I could be wrong. So let's just hope there isn't a problem. Yes. Doesn't look like anything's missing. Now we have all of our parts, which is probably the most important. Got uranium there. So I think we're okay. I unloaded a bunch of stuff into this one. That's all the uranium that was on the refineries. I emptied them just in case. But yeah. Okay. You guys can let me know. Maybe that message does happen regardless. I didn't test it. I just assumed. Okay, so why did we do this? Alright, we should be in not creative mode anymore. Yeah? Nini. You need stuff to build. Okay, good. So the reason we did this is so now when I take a blueprint of our station, done. Poof. And we call that one platform. Find the picture that matches. Now we should be able to just reset all these to 0 and it should line up, and we can see it is. The only thing that might be off is the vertical, which I can't tell from this angle. Let's see if we can get a better one. That one might be off because the projector is a couple blocks lower than the pivot point. So I think I gotta increase this by 2. Oops. And then that rotate there, sure. What was that one? Yeah? Yeah! And now it should be able to just rotate around flawlessly. So if I put it there... Okay, yeah, so that's perfectly lined up because it says progress is done. So right now it's right on top of itself. Cool. Okay, let's go up here. Get a better angle. Oops. Let's go up there after we get a new body. Yeah, it's after we get a new body. Alright, so here's the point of it. So now I can easily change between which section of the ship we're working on, because the pivot point is always in the center of everything. So hopefully I don't screw that up again and we don't lose it. I don't want to do this regularly. But that's pretty cool. I like that. The other thing we could try, let's just see what it looks like. Projector station, let's turn back on, only buildable. That might be interesting. Well, it comes into view for just a second. That's cool. I like it. So it shows the next strip, right? So once we build the crane, that'll be on top of the ship, and it'll be temporary for just the construction, and it'll be removed. We're gonna print it basically like this, I guess, but we're gonna print it probably around. So once it finishes welding that block, or places that block, the next one should show up. So it'll do arcs around and hopefully get everything like that. I don't know. That's a ways away, and probably gonna have to wait until the rotors and stuff are all sorted out, so we're not wasting too much time on that, on a feature that may get changed before we're actually able to use it. Alright guys, well let's leave it here, long one, but I got done what I wanted. Got our pivot point back, and I probably should have moved like Tortwing's pivot point too while we were at it, and oh well, another time. Till next time, bye-bye. I wish rotate was a bit smoother. It's very jaggedy. Not good for video. Turbulence. Experiencing some turbulence. Hold on to your seat. I don't have a seat.